Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ising? Here. Dr. Klein?
Present.
Mr. Kachasik?
Here.
Dr. Kostro?
Here.
Mr. Leonard?
Mr. Leonard is not here, but they called a special meeting at the WIU for all school board members, and he is our school board representative. He said, so he actually ended up having to go to that school board meeting because that was the only night that they can get a quorum for their special meeting. So he said he hates to miss this meeting, but there was a concern going on, not a concern, but they wanted to go out to have an extra meeting that night.
Mr. Matarazzo?
Here.
Mr. Nemec?
Here.
Mr. Otto?
Speaking.
Mr. Petrucci?
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Information, Dr. Harris.
Thank you. Well, first of all, we did contact Ryan Richards, asked him to make sure there's extra air conditioning in here tonight. We've got a large crowd. So we have our 3 different groups: hockey, mock trial, and our students of the month. So I'm going to go right on to the groups and give them some recognition. And we're going to start with hockey, because I know some kids have a tryout tonight at 8 o'clock. So Carrie?
Thank you, Dr. Harris. First, I would like to congratulate all of our groups that are here this evening and our students of the month. Going back to the second and third week of March, we had a very, very special couple of weeks going on there. The Warriors started off the week by winning their first, and the school's first, PIHL Class 2A Penn's Cup Championship, defeating Hempfield 4-3. Within that week's time, in the help of Mr. Aquilio, Ms. Flaherty, Dr. Healy, our staff, and fortunately, you know, we have great first responders here in Penn Trafford. Our police, our fire, our EMTs. Everybody got together and they gave these kids the best send-off ever, got them out of here. They went out towards Philly. They brought back a championship, defeating North Penn 3-1 and bringing home a state championship, which was actually our 4th in 6 years team-wise here at Penn Trafford. So another new banner to hang in the gym, 2 of them. They're going to also be on the entries when you come into school. But the amazing reception we're all very fortunate in this community to have the groups that we have. It was amazing. I know that a handful of the people here in the room were there that night, Dr. Harris, Mr. Matarazzo, Ms. Ising, but just an amazing thing to see. And like I said, I'm very thankful for all of us that live in this community and for the support that we get from everybody in that circle. Gentlemen and coaches, if you all want to come up here. Coach Brian Zagor could not be here tonight. He had a family thing going on. And if you gentlemen can all come on up here in the middle, because after we're done, I'm going to have you come around and meet everybody. But I want to read this on behalf of Coach Brian, who could not make it here tonight. Coach said, "These boys proudly represented their school and their community, both on and off the ice. They were always accountable to themselves and their teammates. I'm not only proud of them for what they achieved on the ice, but how they all achieved it together. Talk to coaches, teachers, administrators, parents, and you'll learn quickly that it's a team full of character and integrity. Thank you for honoring these guys. Sincerely, from head coach Brian Zagoric, PT class of 2009, Coach Brian." And as I said, I couldn't be more grateful, and I know the kids and the staff couldn't be, for the community, the firemen, the police officers, the EMT, our administration, and just what an amazing community we all live in. And thank you and congratulations to all the young men and the coaches and staff that are in here today. So, gentlemen, if it's okay, if I could have you maybe just get in a little line and come on around. But you guys,
questions.
go ahead. Yeah, knock yourself
Two
out.
questions, gentlemen.
Yes.
Excuse me if I don't get this terminology correct. Which player was involved with the Michigan play? Ooh. Awesome. So, is that something it just came to you, you just said, that was awesome play, by the way.
Yeah, our coach came up with it the day before.
Okay.
The other kid brought, he's the one who faked it.
impressive. So everybody here knew what was gonna happen? Okay.
Some of them are looking like, huh?
Second question, can you tell me about the blonde hair?
Thank you. That's the same thing.
How long is it before you cut it off?
Was it something everybody did, or most of you guys did,
Yeah,
or?
like, I always wanted to do it, and then, like, I don't think, like, everyone was too bored with it, and then, like, everyone's, like, I started to do it, and, like, a couple other kids, and everyone doing it all. And then, like, I think if we got to the point, if you wanted to do it,
And one final question, sorry to hog it all up. Any seniors gone on to play at college? Can you tell me where, what's your name and where you're going?
I'm Brody Parsons, and I'm going to Penn State Maryland.
Congratulations. Oh, there's another one?
Max Tamborski, and I'm going to Ohio University.
Oh, congratulations. Okay. All right, thank you, guys. That's all
Well, I
I
have a
have.
question about the blonde hair. One more thing.
No, go ahead.
Okay, when my kids were here, and my son went to Whitfield one year for swimming, they did the blonde hair. Has this been a tradition for all those years? Do all the teams do the blonde hair? Most teams? So my son's hair would be this dark. It didn't really go quite blonde, but it kind of went orange.
You know, I asked one of your parents, I said, how many of those are dyed blonde hair and how many are real? So, are you gonna have blonde hair a month from now, or will it?
As long as you skate, who cares?
As long as you skate, that's right.
That was the thing, though. They all
That
had
was
blonde
funny
hair.
when I saw it. Couldn't believe it. Congratulations, guys.
So what we can do is, before, you can just go around this way, shake hands. Just state your name, all right, the position you played, and what year you're in, if you guys don't mind.
And Carrie, where is the trophy being kept? Are we doing the
Well,
presentation?
yeah,
to
once
the school?
they get to pass it around for quite a while. Once
some
they're done
graduation
with
parties
it, it'll
and-
be in,
Is that going in any swimming pools?
hopefully it doesn't end up in a pool somewhere.
I was just gonna say, is that going in any swimming?
Because
But
we are
it's-
very proud, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see, but have fun with it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
A picture for-
Yeah, we'll get a
Yeah.
picture too before you guys leave for the table.
Yeah, we better.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys wanna start over on that end.
my name's Ben Zersky, I'm a center, and I'm a senior.
Okay, thank you.
My name's Jake Lennon, I'm a senior, I'm a defenseman. My name is Jake Lennon, I'm a winger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm a center, I'm a junior.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Roman Catello, center, junior.
All right, thanks.
Liam Lennicky, freshman defenseman.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can have some kind of.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we won't bite you.
Carson Wiseman, junior, forward.
Brody Parsons, senior, defenseman. Max Tamborski, senior.
Okay. Thank you.
Senior, six.
Okay, thank you.
And then, this is
With a couple of the
Yeah,
coaches
that's fine.
still
Yeah,
in here.
go ahead.
Come on up, guys. Guys, come on up.
Tyler Dorn, assistant coach.
Nate Simon, assistant coach.
Congratulations, guys.
And I'm Mike Robinson, also an assistant coach.
All right.
Wonderful year.
God.
Do you want their picture now, like there? Or? Okay. All right, Ben.
Congratulations. So proud of you.
It's an exciting game. We'll watch that last one. Congratulations.
Looks good. Congratulations. That is
Exciting
proud of
game.
you. You really did. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're on here gonna stay? How about you?
Exciting game, guys. Congratulations.
Very representative. Thank you. Thank your parents and coaches. Positive way.
Congratulations.
Suzanne, we love Suzanne. She's amazing. And I saw her at the bus. I'm thinking, why not? She might have a student, former student. Yes, my husband. No. I just thought she wanted to come up. So, Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Carrie, Carrie, you can pitch to
Yeah.
Tiffany, you do a picture?
This is my
I know,
Better place to take the picture, it doesn't have to be in here, as long as they can get everybody in. Gary, do you have a better place to take the picture you can, someplace you can get everybody in?
In the hallway?
Like, they can all fit, like.
Like right when they come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a semicircle.
Yeah.
I don't think they can see it.
That's all right, I'm out.
I don't think they can see me sitting down, but I'll do. You don't want to see my feet?
South Carolina family.
because they live close. She wanted to have a
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm thinking half of it is seniors. I'm hoping these are still good seniors. Most of the athletes, I know Tony.
That was a lot
He
of
asked
fun.
about our
That whole season, and at the game, and having a
Our
conference.
athletes, and again, goes back to coaching, is having good coaching.
I can't imagine how excited they are.
Absolutely. Thank you all. As they're leaving, one thing I forgot to mention, they also were at the Penguin game. They got recognized too. Is that correct, Terry?
I don't. They were doing it. I'm not sure if they already did. They must, since there's no home games left. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on. I think you were on vacation. I think. I remember reading that someplace. Either that or. Yeah, it was a Tuesday of Pasbo. And next, we have another group to recognize, and they had an outstanding season as well. And at first, I'm going to bring up, because I know Mrs. Wookish, right now she's with the FBLA, and then should be with the trivia. How many people are on the trivia team, too, that's coming, the Quiz Bowl team? A couple of people did both? A couple of people? Okay. That's you so much, they can't remember. You have so much. But I know she said that D3 has something to share and to recognize. And if everyone will come up behind D3.
Come on up.
Hello, and good evening. My name is Adivia Pinkley, and I'm the plaintiff captain of the Penn Trafford mock trial team. Before we introduce the rest of the team and the people with us, I just want to take a moment to thank our attorney coach. Mr. Fulton volunteers his time with us get ready for our competitions, and I think I speak for the entire team when I say that we were all so incredibly lucky that he is our coach, and so grateful for all of the time he puts into mock trial. But personally, mock trial has been such an important activity for me, not just because it takes up so much time and hard work, but also because it's helped me grow as a person, especially from who I was in 9th grade, because I would probably have rather died than stand up and talk in front of people. And the guidance we've received from both Mrs. Wilkich and Mr. Fulton has helped us win competitions, but also grow our confidence and become better public speakers, analysts, and teammates too. Also with us today is Mr. Leo Montero. He's the mock trial coordinator for District 1, Region 3.
You bring up Leo, you able to come up front? And I always see you at the courthouse when we're up there watching these competitions, taking that word.
I don't think so. Oh, wait, yeah, we need to record it. Thanks. Dr. Harris, administrators, members of the school board, thank you for allowing me to take a few moments of your time to discuss the mock trial program and Penn Trafford's excellence in it. In case you didn't know, every year the Pennsylvania Bar Association sponsors a mock trial competition for high school students. For the last 25 years, I've been the Westmoreland County coordinator for that program. Every year they release a vehicle. It's what we call the problem. We call it a vehicle. It's released in October or November. And the students usually get about 3 months to look at this vehicle, which usually encompasses somewhere around 100 to 150 pages of material. So not only do they have to look through that, they have to review it, memorize it, be familiar with it. They have to prepare to present their case. They need to familiarize themselves with the rules of evidence. They need to be able to develop a trial strategy for both sides, both the plaintiff or prosecution if it's a criminal case, and the defense. They need to prepare that case for presentation to jurors, and they need to do the actual presentation of the case. And as a litigator myself for the past 28 years, it's being in trial, I like to describe as having your head on a swivel. Because you never really know what the other side's going to do at any point in time, so you always need to be aware of that. So you're always on. They need to do all of that as high school students. This is something that many attorneys can't even do. And it's a great thing to see all of these students do that, and they have to do it well. Because it is a competition. This year, in our district, we had 9 teams they were competing against. They were successful in defeating those teams in round 1, round 2, and then the final round, and advanced to the or the regional competition was held in Washington County this year, and they were successful in that and advanced to the state competition. I like to say most people would rather die than do public speaking, and as we just heard,
One of the top fears, yeah.
it is a difficult thing to do. As we just heard, this program really helps them. But they were the District 1 champions this year, and as such, their name has been engraved on the trophy, which has been moving around between high schools since 1988, when the program first started. This year, in 2026, their name was added back on to the trophy. It's on there a few other times. And I will officially relinquish it to the high school and the team for the next 11 months. On a personal note, I've been a resident of Penn Township for 27 years, and it's always nice to see a little home team win every now and again. So thank you, and with that, I'll relinquish the trophy.
Are you able to share what the vehicle was, if I'm saying that correctly? I never heard that term before.
Yeah, this year was a medical malpractice case.
So during the case, did you guys interview witnesses?
Yes, we assign roles, so each team
Oh,
has
okay.
2 witnesses.
And experts, material expert. Okay, I'm just curious. That's all. You want to introduce your team?
Hi, I am the defense captain. My name is Riley Joyce, and I was here. And here is Owen Slacker, one of my witnesses. Gia Bella Smith, my other witness. Ben, our lovely timekeeper, and Nate
And what grade are you guys in?
I'm a junior.
Okay.
I'm a senior.
I'm a sophomore.
And any hopes of moving on, or any dreams of moving on to actual being a lawyer? Oh,
A
congratulations.
couple of people there.
Mhm.
Is it D3 as a senior? Where were you going to?
I'm going to Pitt.
Nice. Congratulations, everybody.
And I heard you got something, a nice deal there?
I got the transfer scholarship.
You got
Very
it.
There could be some other questions from other board members, so.
Is there a minimum number of people it takes to compete and a maximum number?
I know there's a minimum number of six for each side, so 12. So 13.
And Mr. Fulton, how many years now have you, I mean, you were here when my oldest was, he went through the program.
We started the program, actually, my oldest son was one of 2 students who talked the school into starting the program.
That's awesome.
I just retired, it was 16 years ago, and they needed an attorney, and he said, my mother would be really happy to come on the coaching. I've been coaching it since.
We've been very blessed, very blessed, fortunate, and lucky. And then you also one of our residents too.
Yes.
So,
I get more out of it than the students do. It's just fun to be in. I've got the best teaching job in the world because I get students, it's an after-school activity. We meet 3 hours a day, 2 days a week. But all the students I have, they're there because they want to be there. So it is the best job in the world.
I wanted to ask a question. How many, were you recruited to be on this team, or did you just volunteer and it worked out?
Some of both.
Because how much time you put into this? It's not like you had 2 weeks to get ready. How long did you prepare for this?
3 months.
And then it doesn't count with the
No,
summer.
we started in October,
Oh, we started in October
and we ended in
March.
Now, if you had an estimate, how many hours do you think that was in total preparation?
Well,
A lot.
we have our 2 practices a week.
Yeah. There's a lot of work outside of the practice. Yeah, so.
Especially for attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the attorneys probably have, because they have to master all the rules as well as the arguments, they probably, I put in probably 10 hours a week. And the attorneys,
Wow.
with all the things I ask them to do, they're putting in more than that.
Okay.
What a commitment. I want to ask
Yeah.
those of you that are undergrads, how many are going to come back next year?
We got a really young team, we only have
I know, but
one attorney that was a senior, and we had 2 witnesses that were seniors.
and they want to come back, so it must have been a good experience.
Knock on wood.
And I believe you are on the academic quiz team.
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I remember I talked to you in the hall because you had, I saw you on TV and you did phenomenal. You showed up like all those boys.
Congratulations for bringing it back to Penn Trafford.
and is this your first time with the trophy then, since you just came? So we want to definitely get a picture. But if you can first come around, I want to shake, just like the hockey team did, form a line, and we're going to shake everyone's hand. And then Dr. Nix is going to get a photo. I
think it's bigger.
Congratulations,
great job.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good luck at Pitt.
You're coming back.
I'm a Pitt alum, so.
Count on it. Count on it.
Congratulations.
And you're coming back.
Congratulations. Great job.
You're coming back.
Great job.
Let's ask from their coaches. Absolutely.
Great job. Great job.
Boys both as well, and then the hockey show lots You jump on it? Yeah. Thank you for coming, and you're more than welcome to go, just like the hockey team.
Apologize if you hear me sniffling. I have my nose covered. I can't blow my nose. I'm like, crazy. So my wife said, make sure you apologize to anybody if they hear you.
All right, you guys, thanks for coming in. You guys do not have to stay. You can run for the hills. All right, Dr. Harris, whenever you're
All
ready.
right. And lastly, we're going to get ready now for our Students of the Month, and the room keeps slowly emptying out. And for the Students of the Month, we have 3 tonight to award. And I have to tell you how hard it is to win this. If you think about it, every year we probably do 24 or 27, depending on the year and the calendar, way it falls. But I have 3,800 students. So if you do the math, the likelihood that someone's going to get chosen is very hard. It is very difficult. However, when you hear what the principals have to say about you and what they read, it really melts your heart, because it truly shows why you were chosen to be Student of the Month. And it shows that you not only do what you're expected to do, you go above and beyond. And I always say you do that on your own. When you leave your home, you can do anything you want once you get here. Your parents aren't there. You get free, and I've seen people make bad choices. But you do the right thing all the time when no one is watching. But believe me, we're all watching and taking notice, because that's why you're here tonight. In September, right before school starts, or the first month of school, we do recognize you at a football game. We invite you to watch it in the press box, the Warrior Center, and it's a nice night. We would like to do more after the board meeting, but after you were honored, we have about another hour and a half here, so it's kind of hard to do the celebration, so that's why we do it then. So sit back. We're going to hear first of all from Sunrise and Mr. DiNapoli.
Okay, thanks. 1 second, man. I just wanted to thank the parents and the students and the family for your patience with all the stuff before you guys, so thank you for waiting.
I do appreciate that. Usually we don't have one recognition, but this night we had 2 recognitions. But it's great that they both won, and we don't want to take that away too, but it was also, I wanted to try to get a lot of the room emptied out first too, so it's nice.
And it wasn't in order of importance. We love this part of the meeting, so thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, all right, here we go. Sloan, come on up. All right, this is great. Sunrise Elementary is excited to introduce our Student of the Month, Sloan Shermowski. Sloan is a 2nd grade student at Sunrise Elementary. She is the daughter of Daniel and Jackie, who are here with us tonight, along with their son, Cameron, who's also a Sunrise Elementary student on his last year. He's in 5th grade. Good kid himself, right there. Right, Cameron? Good stuff. Okay. No, really good family. It didn't take long for the staff to decide who was going to be the Student of the Month. Sloan is the kind of is a kind student, enthusiastic, who truly enjoys school, being around her friends and making the most of every day. She was very excited when she heard the news about being the Student of the Month. Sloan loves being a part of Mrs. Barton's 2nd grade class, and Mrs. Barton, she's here with us tonight as well. Thank you, Deja. And enjoys learning alongside her classmates each day. Mrs. Barton states that Sloan is a responsible and hardworking 2nd grader who consistently demonstrates positive behaviors in the classroom. She follows directions carefully, completes her work on time, and takes pride in doing her best. She is respectful to her teachers and classmates and is always willing to help others when needed. Her positive attitude and strong work ethic make her a great role model for her peers. She is a pleasure to have in class and continues to grow both academically and socially. Sloan loves staying active, and she's looking forward to, she said, her spring soccer season coming up. She has a great time going to her brother's basketball games, which she talks about a lot. And you can often find her cheering on, especially when he does well. Cameron, did you hear that? When you do well, she says she loves cheering you on. So keep shooting the ball. In her free time, Sloan enjoys reading and watching television and being with her family. talking with Sloan, she can't talk enough about her family and the time that you guys spend together, just hanging out, and she cherishes. She honestly couldn't stop talking about it. I had to tell her we had to move on a little bit during our conversation, but she's very excited about the summer coming up. Not only is her birthday in the summer, but she also loves to swim. She's very excited about her upcoming trip to Disney, and she's looking forward to riding all the rides there this year. Looking ahead, Sloan hopes to become a teacher while continuing to stay involved in sports. Sloan, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it well. Sunrise Elementary is very proud of you, and congratulations on being the Student of the Month.
And Mr. Denali, is anything you want to report about the elementary schools, or?
Yeah, Sunrise Elementary just finished up their education fair week a week and a half ago, right before the Easter break. We had a very successful turnout there. Starting this week, we have our hygiene drive that's taking place this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to collect all those essentials for our students here in the district and present actually up here to the high school, to the nurse and everything. That's this week. This Friday, our students are going to visit the high school, come up for the preview of Mamma Mia, for the high school play on Friday. The kids are very excited about that, and they're even more excited to start the state testing next Tuesday. So, that's it.
And I have to tell you, Dr. Flaherty is probably going to say it too, but Mamma Mia, if you haven't seen it, you have to go this weekend. You're going to get if you get an opportunity, Friday, Saturday, you must go. It is amazing. Like, I absolutely loved it. You leave dancing. If you like ABBA, or if you don't like ABBA, you're going to leave dancing. I'm telling you that. It was a very good music. I loved it. I was very proud of all the kids, and I'm actually going back to see the second cast because it was such a nice experience. So, just my shout out. But I think everyone did an outstanding job. The singers, the dance, everybody, and I even want to give a shout out to Mrs. Gross. She does the costumes, because the whole committee, that also was very impressive. So I really liked my whole experience there. Got my money's worth. So just to shout that out. Is Dr. Cappuccino.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I'd like to introduce Jocelyn Dietz as Trafford Middle School Student of the Month. Come on out. Tonight, Jocelyn is accompanied by her mom and dad. She's in 8th grade. She has a 4.0 GPA. She's involved in drama, which she had to lead in this year's musical, which just ended. She's in chorus, student council. She excels in arts and science, and her ambitions are to major in chemistry in college. I asked her what college she was interested in in 8th grade. She kind of had no idea, but I could completely understand. But it's something with the sciences. So I reached out to her teachers, and first, Mrs. Lamanna stated that Jocelyn's art teacher. I get to see a side of her many people don't. The side that isn't afraid to take a blank canvas and turn it into something completely unexpected. Jocelyn is what I like to call ultra creative. She's incredibly conscientious and attacks every project with a sincere enthusiasm that you can't teach. She's a risk taker who strives to improve every single day and is always looking for new ways to push her artistic boundaries just a little bit further. Mrs. Lockwood, Social Studies, stated Jocelyn is a rare blend of academic excellence and a genuine character. She is a responsible leader who handles her responsibilities with a level of maturity that is hard to find. As a deep thinker, she doesn't just look for easy answers, bringing a unique, thoughtful perspective to both classroom discussion and assignments as she completes them in Social Studies class. Mrs. Rogers states Jocelyn is the kind of student who helps make Trafford Middle School a wonderful place. She is a conscientious and dedicated student who demonstrates superior effort and attention to detail in her work. She adds thoughtful and creative insight to class discussions, asks relevant questions, and volunteers responses to class activities. Mrs. Manupelli, Jocelyn is a student who takes English by storm. She writes with integrity and uses all her skills to communicate her points. She is a force. She is a special person to have in class as she quietly rules it. And finally, Mrs. Bose states Jocelyn is an exceptional student who consistently demonstrates responsibility, kindness, and maturity in and out of the classroom. She actively participates, often volunteering, and is always willing to help her peers. She is hardworking, respectful, and a positive role model among her classmates. It has been truly a pleasure having her in class. Congratulations, Jocelyn Dietz, for being Trafford Middle School Student of the Month.
And what else is going on at the middle schools?
Sure, as Mr. DiNapoli took some of my fire away.
That's okay.
Next week's the big week. It's our Super Bowl.
Super
You know,
Bowl
so we have
champions. Which
PSAs.
we always place one the last 10, 11 years academically.
Yeah, it's
PT
our
always
Super Bowl.
does.
So next week is PSSAs. We start off with ELA, then we move on to math, then finally science, then Keystones coming up at the end in May. We have the Spring Fling, which I've learned a lot about. It's coming up on April 24th. The prizes are incredible. So we already have 150 students signed up for that. It's 2 hours of enjoyment and dancing and all kinds of gifts given out. It's unbelievable. Coming up on April 30th, we take the 8th graders to Gettysburg. I was told we leave at 4:30 in the morning. Luckily, we are taking coach buses, so thank you, board. Overtaking school buses, so that's big. May 8th, we have the 5K in Trafford, and finally, May 14th is the band concert, and that's the end of the school year.
Are the kids going to the Career Tech Center this year?
We went last week.
You went
The
last
7th
week.
graders went, yes.
7th grade went this year.
Seventh grade, yes, and they also came to the school as well
Okay.
and spoke to the students, so that was the 7th grade trip, yes.
Thank you. And I know that's something Jim's going to maybe talk about in his couple minutes when he talks about the tech report. And finally, the high.
Wait a minute, I have a question, Dr. Cat,
Yeah.
that 5K, is that on school property, or do
Yes,
they
it
go
is.
through track?
No, we stay on school property,
Okay.
so they do a couple laps. So we keep it all on the property there. Oh, it is. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Time for coaches.
It's a long day. It is. The kids are excited. Yeah. It is. It's, we are using their Battlefield employees to actually give the tour for us, so I'm looking forward to it.
I have to ask, you guys also have a running team or running club at school?
That's more in the elementary.
that's
elementary
I'm
schools.
sorry.
I can't give you much on that.
That's okay, that's just down that area.
I see them.
You see it.
As you're driving home.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's nice. And Dr. Flair, and we have to change your name tag, because I think I said that last time you was here, or did I say? I didn't
this
say
is the
that?
first time I'm here since
This is
being.
your first time? Well, I
yeah.
want to make sure everyone realizes it's no longer Mrs. Megan Flaherty. Over the last, what day was it officially?
It was on March 28th.
On March 28th, she actually officially became Dr. Megan Flaherty, so we can give her. And it's funny, and we had a conversation, but I was thinking it was here for some reason, but can you tell the board what the dissertation was and?
Yes, I did my dissertation on involvement, teacher involvement in using PBIS and implementing restorative practices in the classroom.
And that's actually something that I know we're doing our PBIS team, and you were very, they had that in-service last week. Dr. Nix arranged it for all the teams, so it was interesting, and I got to sit on and watch it, so.
I'm excited to bring you.
Using your doctorate already?
Yeah.
So,
Walked right into it.
absolutely.
Yep.
Well, congratulations, and who is your student of the month?
My student of the month, or the high school's not mine personally, but is Kaylin Pinier. So come on up, Kaylin. Kaylin is an exceptional 11th grade student, consistently demonstrating the leadership, responsibility, and character that makes her a highly deserving of this recognition. Across multiple classrooms and activities, she is known for going above and beyond in everything she does, whether contributing to projects like the T-shirt initiative or supporting activities in the preschool classroom. Kaylin takes initiative and leads by example, displaying a level of maturity well beyond her years. Her long-standing dedication is further reflected in her role as stage crew manager from the Drama Guild, a position she has held since middle school, where she continues to be a dependable and highly effective leader. Academically, Kaylin is motivated, organized, and dependable. She maintains a strong work ethic and consistently stays on top of her responsibilities. Even when faced with challenges such as missing a week of school without internet access, she demonstrated remarkable accountability by completing all of her work independently. Her commitment to learning and perseverance reflect a deep sense of personal responsibility and pride in her work. In the classroom, Kaylin is an engaged and thoughtful participant who contributes meaningful insights that enhance discussions and support her peers' understanding. She combines strong intellectual ability with empathy and integrity, allowing her to approach complex ideas and real-world applications with both critical thinking and compassion. Beyond academics, Kaylin stands out for her kindness, respectfulness, and willingness to help others without being asked. She is a positive role model who consistently uplifts those around her and treats teachers, classmates, and peers with genuine respect. As an aspiring educator, she has a clear passion for working with children, which is evident in her work in the preschool classroom, as well as her interactions with her younger brother and family members. Kaylin is the type of student any teacher, sponsor, or organization would be proud to represent them. She's relied upon for her leadership and dependability, particularly in her role as stage manager for the Drama Guild. As the team prepares for another demanding tech week for the spring musical Mamma Mia, there is a complete confidence that Kaylin's ability to lead, and she consistently ensures everything runs smoothly. Her presence is so impactful that her teachers and advisors are already wondering how they will replace her when she graduates. Kaylin's combination of academic excellence, leadership, character, and empathy sets her apart and is truly outstanding student. Her future is incredibly bright, and she is well positioned for success in whatever path she chooses. She's a tremendous asset to the school community and highly deserving of the Student of the Month.
And I want to get a picture for all the 3 students in the months and the winners. And then they can come up. Oh, I used to have a border that I just wasn't here today. If you can come up in front of the yellow wall. Oh. Sorry.
Says, I know
Dr.
that.
Flaherty, would you want to share anything else about the high school?
Of course, so much to do going on at the high school. Point Park awarded our PTTV with a plaque and monetary award. The broadcasting team of Juliet Mastriani, Brooklyn Usmeyer, Chloe Stack, and Owen Tinkerhoof won an award for PAB Broadcast Now in Harrisburg. They competed against 19 schools from across the state, where they won, and we partnered with iHeartRadio Pittsburgh this year. We have our esports program competed at the St. Francis University for the Luke Trots tournament hosted by Central Cambria. We brought home both the Smash Brothers and Rocket League championships, so congratulations to both of those teams. Jackson Malone captured the Smash Brothers championship with a 3-2 victory, and Johnny Lovas, Colton Payne, and Christian Grills secured the Rocket League championship with a 3-1 win over Westmont Hilltop. That brought in $900 for the program. The high school administration acknowledged the PCAs on April 1st to show how much we appreciate their hard work and dedication to our students. We have our Big Buddy Day coming up, where the elementary students come up and partner with our CAP members. And we have just about 300 students preparing for graduation. So we are on our way to meeting all of the requirements. Most students have had all their hours in and things like that. So we're getting that together, and then graduation and prom and all that.
This
Keystone.
last, I already say, just brace yourself. You never know what you're going to experience this next 8 weeks. It's unbelievable. I love it personally, and I also like being busy. So I like all these things we're doing. It's nice to get a chance to go out and do everything, but it's a lot less.
Yep. And I was gonna mention Mamma Mia, but you took off over that, and I was gonna mention mock trial, but they took those two.
Absolutely.
Yep,
No
so.
sense of doing it, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And then before I do a presentation that I want to follow up from last week, Jim, did you have anything to say about the Career Tech Center?
Yes, thank you. The Career Tech Center is just booming. They might have as many as 1,500 students next year. We've had approximately 120. They're anticipating we'll have 130. It's growing. The nice thing about the CTC, 60% of the kids, right out, after they graduate from there, they have jobs. And those jobs are paying anywhere from $18 to $22 an hour, one as high as $32 an hour. 30 to 35% of the kids that go to post-secondary, and then others go to military. It's a growing program, and really excited to be part of that. In fact, culinary students, there's 4 culinary students that are going to be at the NFL draft. They won some kind of program, and they're actually going to have a booth with some others at the draft. So they're just doing a fantastic job. Also, the good news for us, the expense. People need to know why we report on this every month. We're paying. Right now, it runs us about $6,400. Oops, I'm sorry. Becky, what was it, 64?
64,000 a month.
6,400, well, I'm sorry, per person.
Oh, per person, about 6,400.
Yeah, we pay about 6,400 per month per person. 6,400 a month.
6,400 per year.
Per year.
Per year.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, there we go. But it's well worth it, to say the least, and we're very proud of what all goes on there. One other thing I wanted to mention is I like to talk about the CTC. I like to talk about our CTC. Rather what I get to eat when they go, because culinary provides for our board meetings. But what about our kids? I don't know if any parents are complaining about, there's nothing to eat, our cafeterias aren't. Cafeterias get a bum rap. Catch this, our K to 8 program. They had flavor growing veggie month, different color options for the week, tricolor cauliflower. They had chicken Alfredo, Read Across America Day, a chance of a meatball sub. March Madness month, they had slam dunk boneless wings. National School Breakfast Week, they go on all the stuff that they did. They decorated the school with balloons, crowns, dragons. They do a lot. And then the high school, catch this. Some parents might want to go to the high school to eat. Potato skins, fruit cup, wing ding basket combo, ultimate cookie stuffed brownie, that'd be me. A pork rib sub, hard tacos. It's amazing what all they have to eat up here. Double Warrior burger combo, lava cake, egg rolls, chicken pot pie. loaded fries again, smoothie bowl on Fridays, and Asian bowl on Tuesdays. Our cafeteria does a great job, and we're so proud of them because we help support it. So just leave it at that and say thank you.
Absolutely.
How much is a school lunch nowadays?
I hate to say it, they do so much a la carte
A
stuff.
la
I'm
carte
not
it
sure.
varies for that, and I'm not sure, you know, in the middle school, Dr. Cat?
No,
I can't remember.
I don't eat there.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll bet you a lot of people don't even do the school, they just get a la carte.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what I
mostly on
think.
the
At the
carte.
high school, I know that's for true, so it's hard to kind of pinpoint the price.
While you're passing out, I just have a suggestion for Mr. Matarazzo.
Yes.
You know, we do hear from a lot of different groups. Maybe every other month, bring in a student from the CWCDC and tell them about what they're in there for. Maybe it's just more awareness for all
Yeah.
of us and
That's a great
students maybe attending. So I don't know how you pick the person, but I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, thanks. But also, one of the things that they do there, their main thing is athletic. I'm trying to think, some of their better courses, they're doing on sports medicine, health occupations. There's 19 programs there.
You doing something?
And also next year, they're gonna be doing more with the middle school. 7th and 8th graders are gonna be introduced to the Career and Technology Center. They're trying to change the word VOTech to Career and Technology Center because of any stigma with VOTech. These kids are doing a great job, and we want to promote it.
Thank you. Mr. Otto, I have your answer for you if you want it.
I do too.
Okay, the elementary lunch is $2.65. Middle school lunch is $3.25, and high school lunch combo for main course is $4, and for the combo meal is $5.50, and then everything else is a la carte.
And I might add, we're one of the only schools in Westmoreland County that uses Aramark. We made a choice and we stayed with Aramark. They do a little different job than some of the other potentials.
I just made it to the microphone, I might as well stay up here now. So, last week, or last month, in executive, Anthony Massetti, I hope I'm saying this is right, name? PNC came, he actually handled our money. I think he's with us for 22 years. And he did a presentation, and we received information in executive that I kind of want to share that information with public and kind of make some of our recommendations about what they talked about and what they did. Now, as I said, I have it on the overhead so we can kind of talk about it, but I'm reading it because the people at home just to kind of, they don't actually have a copy, so I just kind of have to do a lot of paraphrasing. But the purpose of tonight's discussion is to review what we received and the current financial position, capital needs, and the potential financing options. This conversation is intended to provide information and allow the board to begin considering possible approaches for addressing facility needs in the coming years. No decisions are expected to be made during this discussion. Rather, the goal is to ensure that the board and the public have a clear understanding of the district's financial position and the options available as we plan for future facilities. So the purpose of this discussion, and the board might want to consider one of the three choices. Are we going to eventually decide to pursue a larger borrowing option to construct a new school, approximately $65 million? Secure a smaller loan to address repairs and upgrades across several district buildings, approximately $10 million? Or continue with the current funding approach, which is addressing projects incrementally through annual capital allocation? The discussion is intended to inform the board and the public as we consider the long-term facility needs of the district and the financial strategies available to address them. And with the current debt portfolio overview, we're going to actually have a business plan. You want to read it off there or here?
Okay, so our debt portfolio is very strong. It's economically efficient in its position. And the key points of that is that our debt carries a low interest rate of 2.5%. The final maturity date for all of our bonds is May 1st of 2035. All remaining debt is currently callable, meaning that the district can refinance if interest rates fell enough to generate a savings. At present, refinancing is not advantageous because current interest rates are well above and significantly higher than where our debt is issued at. But overall, the district maintains a very efficient debt structure with low interest cost.
capital needs and facility, the district continues to experience capital improvements needs across its facilities. These needs may include routine building maintenance and improvements, system replacements, infrastructure upgrades, deferred maintenance items, potential larger scale projects involving facility modernization or constructions. We actually have, and I've shared this several times before, and we'll just link, and it's very difficult, probably to see if you're definitely at home, but you can kind of see it in front of you on your, we do everything by needs. If you look at the list in front of you, and it's probably hard to see from home, but for example, our things we were doing this summer might be at a priority 1, and that it might include, that includes the IFIS for the maintenance repairs of Penn Middle, the high school LC&D lighting panel replacement, Penn Middle cafeteria floor, high school rear parking lot, Johnson Control server upgrade, purchase small man list for the district, and et cetera. We have priorities 1, we have them 1 through 10 with all of our current needs throughout the district. And if you look at the bottom total, currently what we have bids on, not bids on, like an estimate for, is close to $5 million. That amount there is $4,867,706. So those are items that we would definitely know we were going to be using, but as you can see, there are a lot of categories we still don't have an estimate or a bid price for. So you can imagine we're probably in the neighborhood of closer to the $10 million mark that we had true prices. We do meet annually to prioritize the list and see what comes up. But as I always say, and this is what Dr. Nixon and I always point out, just because an item is number 8 this year doesn't mean it's a 7 next year. Something might happen causing it a critical need that it has to be a 1 or a 2. So we have to look at everything as we get more information, as we get more items done for it. So that's why sometimes we do an item ahead of schedule, because this is not year 1, year 2. These are our priorities now. Our priorities could change tomorrow. If something at your house happened, like just say at your own home, if something happened, your bathtub caves in, that becomes a priority 1. You might not have even had your bathtub on your list of 10 items or more priorities, because you're not even thinking about it. But at that moment, it's now your first priority. So sometimes in school district, things like that happen. Don't know why I thought of the bathtub analogy, but who knows? But that's kind of what I came up with on the spot.
If I could just interject with you, Dr. Price, if you scroll down a little bit, we talked about technology a little bit just a short time ago. The Ethernet is on there, and it's a lower priority. But we talked to Mr. Caruso, putting his list together, and the Ethernet will be raised to a higher priority. So we can get 50% of that covered through.
That is something we want to present to our building committee team, that we do feel like that has to be a higher priority than what it is now. Financial options available to the district. When we received the information from Anthony, he said based on his understanding of how our credit and our debt ratio and everything else and where our last bond was, remember, it's been about 12 years since we completed the high school construction. He said one option would be to pursue financing for a new school facility, estimating about $65 million. This option would represent a long-term investment in district infrastructure and would require issuing significant new debt. Key considerations to include long-term debt obligations, current and future interest rate conditions, community support, and impact of the district's long-term financial outlook. After kind of talking them through with these different things, it doesn't feel like this would be a time, like, just for myself, and I know you can have time to discuss, but based on what you were saying, with the interest rates and the way the financial outlook looks right now and the credit ratings, probably not a time to take on that much debt. There's another way of using our money or going forward to do targeting capital improvement loans. This option would be used to pursue a smaller borrowing amount, approximately $10 million, to address improvements across the several buildings. And I kind of shared with you that list already. These projects could include building repairs, infrastructure upgrades, addressing deferred maintenance, improvements to existing facilities, This approach allows the district to address important facility needs without undertaking a major new construction project. And the other option to address some of the different funding and the different building concerns, the district currently directs $580,000 annually from the general fund budget to the capital projects for capital improvements. Continuing this approach would allow the district to address projects incrementally over time. That's kind of what we're doing. Avoid additional borrowing, maintain flexibility and long-term financial planning. However, this approach may extend the timeline for completing larger projects or addressing multiple facility needs. Credit ratings and financial considerations, and Rebecca.
The next point when we consider all the options is our credit rating and financial health. We need to maintain a strong credit rating, and that's an important factor when bonds are issued and loans. And those considerations, we currently have a good credit rating, though we could improve it. Credit ratings typically will improve when the district can maintain or increase its fund balance reserves and limit additional debt, so not taking on any new debt. A stronger credit rating in the future helps the district secure more favorable interest loan rate when borrowing. And then did you want me to do the fund balance as well? Okay, so the fund balance considerations that the district has, it's considered acceptable, but continued use of the funds has to be carefully evaluated. We don't want to continue to draw those funds down. When we draw the funds down, it will reduce our reserves. Lower reserves will impact the district's credit rating. It also, maintaining that healthy fund balance provides financial stability and flexibility for future needs. Another thing that fund balance does, it's all part of the general fund. So if you think about it at home, it's like your savings account at home. So if you continually spend more than you're bringing in, and then you're depleting that fund balance, your savings account, you have less to work with. And the less it gets to, then you could get yourself in a situation where you impact your cash flow, and you might not have enough cash to pay your bills in the summer while you're at your lower end of when you have your capital in front of you. So it's definitely something we need to maintain and try to increase and stop taking money from for the future. So the next page there in front of you goes over our fund balance from the last 10 years and looks back, and you can clearly see in 15-16 the fund balance was down at the 4 million mark, and then it increased to almost 6 million, a little over 6 million, up to 8 million, and up to 8 million again, and there was some bond and some borrowing that happened during that time. In 2020, 2021, when it went up to that 10 million mark, that influx was all of the ESSERs, ARP ESSERs, COVID federal revenue that came in, so that also impacted the growth. And then you can see in the next years that followed, the drawdown of that, the less 1,352,000, the less 502,000. Those 2 years were spending the ESSER funds, because you had to spend them and use them within the grant time period of the ESSERs. And then in 23-24, you can see our fund balance reduced down to $6,625,994, and that was a negative $1,871,000. 1.75 million of that was the purchase of the new building, the new admin building. So that is clear where you can see that came out from there. And then in 24-25, our audited fund balance that we just concluded with our auditor has us at $6,072,105. So the preliminary budget presentation that I'll prepare, or that I am preparing and will present to you next month, is going to address and highlight where our spending is in all of the categories, where our revenues are, where the revenue from the rental for the new admin building that we lease down below. It will highlight all of the debt service that we have on our current borrowing, the capital projects fund. So everything will be laid out in front of you, and then you'll be able to decide and try to guide and help make some of the decisions of how we move forward and how we protect our fund balance, maintain it, grow it, and then also address all of the needs that we have at the district level for our operating expenses, but also maintaining our great education we have here and fulfilling those mandates. So, but you'll be able to see that all at the next meeting in May with that presentation. You'll have a hard copy as well, and we'll be able to diverge more into that. But that's all of the things to consider about your fund balance. Did you want me to do the plan con as well? Sure.
Ask her a quick question.
Yeah.
That $500,000 that's in the potential this year in general education, where do you draw that money from?
So that, the minus, it's the general. So it's all your general fund, it's called fund balance, but it's the same, it's all part of your general.
Yes, I think that's where, Mr. Ross and Terry, I think that's where the majority of the board, including myself, is a little tripped up on. And when we voted in May to raise tax, a lot of people say that they were voting on 2 bills for capital improvement. But evidently, when we asked where the money's going from, it's coming from the general, it's going to that. So I think if you could help us in the future, be more clear on where the money is going, and then put money, because I think at least over the past 7, 8 years, we put money into capital improvement. So we would assume that the money for expenses of that nature would come from that, not the general. So that's why we, at least myself.
And moving forward in that presentation today, it will be very clearly spelled out, the revenues, the expenses, all of the funds, that I just need you to remember, and we'll go through this together and learn together as we go as I present it to you. Your general fund is your fund balance. They're not two separate funds, all in the same bank. So it's what you're spending and what you have reserved in your savings account, but it's all the same account number. It's not a special, you know, we can't ever touch this, and that's what gives you the flexibility as a board and us as operations to be able to continue through the summer. So in the summer, we don't get any of our subsidies, we're not getting any of our property taxes, we're still paying our bills of $5 to $6 million in June and July and August. And so having that fund balance, that savings account in our general fund allows us to pay those bills without having to take out, at other districts, they have to take out a TAN loan, get a loan to pay their bills in the summer until the property taxes come in. So that is all part of the same fund.
But I think if you would ask individual board members, I think that's where we get confused. When we vote for a specific amount of money to be put into a slot or an account, we expect that money to be put into that account. But, you know, what we've seen over the last few years is all of that money seems to be going into one account. So why have all these other accounts when they all go into one account? You know what I mean? So I don't know about the rest of the board members, but I would like to see more clarity where the money gets divided and put, because I know each individual building, I don't know, Brian, if you would, you know, each individual building has its own budget for maintenance, right? So is that again an item that just goes right into the general fund?
So the maintenance budget it envelopes all of the different buildings, and as you compare your utility
Right,
costs,
but does that all funnel right into the general balance then?
it's all part of the general fund.
Yeah,
operating
see,
budget.
I think that's where, I don't know, am I the only one? We have one big account now that everything comes out of instead of being specialized.
So when someone, you know, makes the motion to raise taxes with one bill dedicated for the security, you can't do that.
You're really not dedicated, because when you raise a mill, when you raise a mill, we're raising it because your revenues are less than your expenses. So you need to increase your revenue, you want to pass a balanced items on the list that you guys have approved in March and that we'll do this summer. The EPIS project is one of them, the cafeteria floor, and the abatement is the other one. So that's where that money is coming.
Maybe a better way to ask the question would be, say we have $500,000 set aside for security in the buildings, okay? So that money gets collected and put into the general fund, okay? But on the spreadsheet, you're going to see a line item for security in the buildings, $500,000, right? So as soon as that $500,000 has been budgeted out of that account, then that means any additional money is going to have to come from some other account. Everybody understand that?
So, and at the end of the day, the bottom line has to equal the bottom line. So if you budget 70 million in revenue and 70 million in expenses, you should end at the end of the year. You could be off $100,000 in security, you know, you overexpended, but maybe you were $100,000 over in maintenance. It's never gonna be perfect.
And that's where you make your adjustments.
But that's where you're gonna make your adjustments, that's where you closely monitor and identify things. But I think what you'll find in May, or my hope anyway, in my presentation is just a very 101 basic, this is what it is, this is where it is, and obviously we will go through all the question scenarios that you'll have, but my goal is to make it as clear and transparent and efficient for not only you, but for me. I'm learning too, and just trying to, what I've been working on for the last 3 months is just aligning our budget, all of the expenses that we have, what we're actually spending, and budgeting where we're actually spending that money, so that we can identify what we're really spending our money on and where it's at. So that's been my goal, that's what I'm trying to do, and will continue to do.
Well, I'll say this may be your first time doing the budget, but for me, it's gonna be an opportunity to learn again. Even though I've been on here so many years, I'm looking forward to the new process or if not new process, but, you know, going through this with you so I get a better understanding.
Nothing wrong with, you know, the old, I just do things a little differently, and that's okay as well. It's okay as well, but it's not my first budget, so don't panic, this will be my third budget, but it's my first budget here. So that can be scary for all of us, but we will work through it together. But you come.
Yeah, we have questions down at this end.
sure working. Your mic's working
Yeah. So, first of all, when you were talking here, one of the things that Jim and I were like, didn't we think there was a separate account for this and a separate account for that? And then you're telling us, no, that really wasn't the case. So my first question is, a request. When you give the budget, specify what is truly a separate account?
Yes.
Because when we're thinking we're putting this money away for capital, it turns out we could pull money out of there for something that's not. Okay, so that was my number one thing. But my second thing was, when we say we're putting 2 mills wherever it is, okay? All right, so is that 2 mills of this year's dollar value, and next year, those 2 mills, which we have voted for, that we're gonna be going forward with, when we put that aside, is it 2 mills at that year's value?
So you're really not, when you're increasing millage, and you say, like, let's say when security came out at first as a mandate, and you said, okay, we need to raise taxes 2 mills to pay for the new security program that the state is making us pay for. So at that time, the value of those 2 mills, let's just say it was $400,000, you added that line item in your budget for $400,000 for security, okay? And then each year, as your expenses increase or decrease, your millage that millage isn't increasing with that expense. It can retroactively, but it's not intentional. Like, you're trying to hold your budget line, but obviously operations increase every year. But so that those 2 mills at that year value, you might not get that value the next time, because your expense is gonna exceed what that value was. So there's a continual balance and relationship with the expense and the revenue.
Well, I look forward to getting a new level of detail. Thank you.
In 2020, we had 10 million in our fund balance. Well, that sounds good. Last year, we're 6 million. That sounds good. What would be a healthy fund balance from your perspective?
So a healthy fund balance for us, I don't have the number memorized,
approximate, yeah.
But we really wanna have at least 2 months' worth of expenditures in our fund balance to be considered healthy. So the state says you can have 8% of unassigned, and if you're going to have more than 8%, you have to commit it and assign it, which we have out of that fund balance, 2 million is committed, the board voted every year to commit that fund balance piece of the savings, and that's really for, your PSERS, just different things like that, healthcare, it's just that committed line that you have. So you would have to commit, assign, and reserve funds to go above that 8% that the state holds. But for me, our expenses are at least 5 million a month. So a healthy fund balance to me would be 10 million.
Okay.
And then you would have to have your assigned and unassigned, because obviously 10 million would be more than 8%.
Thank you.
So that's where I would consider it.
Okay,
Yes.
to follow up on what Tony, she beat me to the punch anyway. I'd like for you, between now and next meeting, to check the minutes, because Tony had a very good point, and that's what I was gonna bring up. I thought it was 2 mills then, and 580,000, and we didn't say 580,000, period. We said 2 mills, so that means they're now, if a mill was worth, I think, what, 315, 320? I can't remember, okay, so now that'd be 640, it wouldn't be 580, because, please check the minutes and see how that reads, because I agree with Tony, I think it's 2 mills. All, millage increase, so does that $580,000 figure increases. Please check on that.
I'll check the minutes again.
Thank you.
I did go do that in my research
I
prior.
read the same way you did,
And all I
Tony.
found was that that there was a motion about 5 or 6 years ago that a half of a mill was to be set aside for capital projects, and at that point, that half a mill was about $140,000.
Okay.
That's the only thing I found that was committed. Oh, sorry. That's the only thing I found that was committed, millage for capital projects
We thought it was
in
every
all of
year.
the
We
minutes.
thought it was every year.
No, but it was supposed to be every year,
Right,
$580,000
She
was.
says that wasn't the case.
That's not in the minutes.
That's not in the minutes.
I'll check again, though, but I did go back 7 years.
It was a one-time increase.
What's that?
It was a one-time increase, that $580,000.
No, the 580, I think that's where the confusion comes from, because the 580 didn't happen until, I think, 3 years ago. As a board, you collectively said, we'd like to set $580,000 from in the budget to transfer to capital projects to address the building improvement list that equals about $5 million.
At that time, it was 2 mills.
I can do the math for you, but it doesn't, yes. But it doesn't state that, there's not a separate motion, it just, at that time, the board's authority, when you passed the overall budget, there was 580 in that bucket.
Yeah, but okay, see how the minutes read? I thought that 580 was equal to 2 mills.
Right.
And as millage increased, I thought that 580 would increase.
Yeah.
That's how when we passed it, that's how I read it.
Right, and
So
I see what
check
you're
the minutes
saying,
and see how it's,
but that's, how it was approved in the budget and in the minutes,
yeah,
so
at
I'll go
that
back and
year,
look.
at that year, you're correct. But as it increased, like 300,000, now that's a $600,000 figure. Okay, just check and see what it says.
I think we kind
Yeah.
of, at least the three of us are kind of, we
Right.
had the same impression.
Yeah, and I did look back, but I'll look back again, there was no specific motion that tied millage, but when you passed the budget as a whole, your authority of the board directed $580,000 to go in the budget to capital projects.
But Rebecca, I thought it was 2 mills.
Right.
I didn't think, it's $580,000 only for 1 year. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah, we can check
And I thought
it.
that would increase, as the millage increases.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
let's get the meeting done.
Now, on that same subject, backing up,
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall, and it may just be me, I don't recall the board voting to put 580 in that account. I was always under the impression we had 2 mills in there. Not expand on that.
It's the same thing.
Our debt service for years has been like $3.1 million.
Okay,
In the last several years, that debt service has been reducing. We're now down to what, 2.7 million? First off, that were 9 mills that Nick and his gang had put together years ago. And we always protected that 9 mills for debt service. We did not want it absorbed into the general fund.
Now, after questioning that in the past, I believe that you had said that 580 going into the capital improvement fund was that debt service
Well,
reduction.
so again, I wasn't here in the past, so all I can do is read what the budget says. So the budget currently has that you voted on 2.745 going to debt service and $580,000 budgeted, transferred from the general fund to the capital reserve fund. Yes.
Now, but then, how do we preserve that debt service?
So you would want to include it in the budget. So if you want to say, we as a board authority want to keep our capital loan, our debt service at $3 million, whether it's to pay the debt or to take, let's say it's $300,000 if it went down to 2.7, let's just round numbers so I can talk rounded numbers. So you would take that $300,000 and you would budget it on a line to put it in your capital reserve. And then you would still have a $3 million, bond issuing debt service function item line. So that's how you do it. So if you want it to be 3 million, whatever those numbers are, whatever the debt service is, you would take the rest and you would put it into your capital reserve. It could maintain there, and then
That
when
would-
you're
that would
ready
be
to do the project.
A dedicated fund.
Yes, then
Okay.
when you're ready to do the project, you would transfer the money and the funds. The only time you can use capital reserve funds, Fund 32, is to do a project, so you'd move it to the project fund, or you could use it to pay debt service with. But once it goes to that cap reserve, you could never bring it back to the general fund. It would only be for bond payments and interest or for capital projects.
Now, that's one thing that I have learned from Nick big time, is we don't want to lose that
And
revenue.
I agree, because you need to sustain that level. It's a very small level. We really should have a higher level, but because expenses have risen so much, once you lose it, it's so hard to get it back, especially in the current socioeconomic environment we're living in. But yes, I do agree with you.
So, currently, we have two reserved accounts. One's a capital project, and what's the second one that has a smaller amount in?
Capital reserve.
And is that what you're talking about, putting it
If
into?
you wanted to define that $3 million limit, or 3.1, whatever that number is, whatever the debt service is and whatever that number is, you would want to budget it to transfer it to capital reserve. And that would keep it there for when you do your next project.
Okay, but keeping it in capital reserve, I think, is fine. But we also, and I've told you this personally, and Tiffany was in the conversation too, we have to create an account for new capital improvements only, because we got some old buildings that's gonna have to be replaced, and we don't have one penny set aside to pay for any bond issues at all. And, and I've been preaching this for over 20 years now, just to set aside one simple mill, and right now it'd be worth 20 mills, then you can start rolling. But this board is very conservative, they didn't wanna do it, and it's me by myself and Jim Matter, the two poor-time boys in Trafford, then we still never got any more than two. So I'm just telling you, that's the direction a couple of us are going, and I'm gonna talk to my buddy Rich after the meeting. I gotta see what page he's on. so
I think, obviously you can see the amount of confusion here. I would recommend, and I think you're gonna do it anyway, I think the part of what I said over there is gonna help. Say we raise 1 mil and we're using it for, new playgrounds, or playground maintenance, as an example. So you put, 300,000, which is 1 mil, I'm just making the number up, and you put that in your budget as a line item, okay? I understand that money's gonna go into the general fund, all right? But if it doesn't get spent, you know that it's there, all right? I just think you walk us through that, you know what I mean, as far as how that works. And I think that maybe some of the confusion will go away from all of us. All of us have the same issue, all right? It's nothing against you and whatever. We just had a misunderstanding on where all this money was supposed to be going.
Right. I will do my best to clear it up.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Number one, bless you numbers people that do the voodoo that you do, because it certainly is interesting, to say the least. But it is possible for people like me that let's let's satisfy people that think like me.
Okay.
The tax money that you bring in
Mhm.
every year is equivalent to my salary that I bring in, right? We're bringing in money. Mine is through a salary, the school district's is through tax revenues. I
Taxes,
then have a
local, state,
choice.
federal, yes.
I have to put some of that money into my checking account to pay the bills and the utilities and the constants. I then put some into a savings account, maybe for Christmas or for the new roof. But I also have the ability to put some into like a Christmas club account for December. That's kind of like the equivalent of your operating budget, capital budget, and then we could sneak over into a building fund account.
Right.
So it's possible to create these accounts that we're talking about so that we can invest money and potentially save money later.
Yes.
We just haven't been, whomever has been doing it a different way than that has led to some confusion.
Yeah. Well, and I will do my best to educate us all through the process and keep it as simple as I can so that we're all on the same page. That's my goal.
And put it in the minutes.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
important.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
use the word new. Because
that
it
is the
gets shuffled
consensus
into
of the
these
board.
older buildings. Okay, we're done, I'm done.
One thing, Tiffany wants to bring up a point too.
We all know that every school in Pennsylvania, we have old buildings, so PlanCon, I think we all know this, is a thing of the past. So that's another thing going against public schools as well, that the government has stopped funding, a reconstruction of old buildings. So that's your job as a school board now, to figure out how we're gonna fund that as well. Fun time. No, I do it for you.
Anything, we hit you with a lot. And I know we're gonna talk about, and we can have these discussions in the upcoming months in school boards about what we wanna do. But if we were doing some recommendations now, based on everything we were talking about, I know Rebecca and I and Tiffany talked about it earlier, we would consider, if we were doing one of those options, the $10 million bond option at this time for various reasons. Back to Rebecca.
Yeah, so you do have the options available, but I would just say, let's get to our May meeting. Let's get to our budget. Let's see what our revenues and expenses pan out to be. As you all know, inflation is real. Operational expenditure increases are real. 80% of our budget is salary and benefits, and those are contracted. So we have very little left that we really can control. But we can make good decisions, as this board has. I mean, because you are in, I've been on the other side of no money, like negative money. So you at least have the opportunity to make good decisions and strategically move in the right direction and keep going that way. And you're the top in the district, top in the county for education, and that's what really matters. So bravo, because that doesn't happen by accident. Okay, so there's a lot of positive. I know there's a lot of stress, but there's still a lot of positive. So I hope I was helpful.
Very.
Well, I want to just thank you, Becky, for this. You put together for us to understand average assessed property value, millage rate, all the information here as a board we should have pulled onto this. So thank you very,
And
very
everyone
much.
has the sheet that Jim's talking to you in front of you as well. Welcome, Becky. And believe it or not, Phil, after an hour and a half, I turn the floor back to you. That's all I have.
All right, Dr. Harris, recognition of visitors, we have none. Let's see, old business, I don't believe there's any old business. We did have an executive session prior to this meeting at 5 o'clock, and we received information on personnel, confidential, privileged matters, and school safety and security. So consent agenda, does the board wish to remove any items from the consent agenda?
Mr. President, I'd like to remove G, H, and I from the budget and finance.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Mr. Vice President. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, less GH and I as submitted under one motion?
So moved.
Second. Question being called for. This will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. So we're gonna go to, what page was that? All right, page 8, and who is the chair of the Budget and Finance?
Is that Rich? Who is it?
Was it Dallas? It's not.
Mr. Nemec, would you please read that for us?
Page 8. Move to approve the commitment letter for a revolving line of credit with S&T Bank, our local depositor, for $5 million for cash flow stabilization in case of emergency. Application ID 0182047. The collateral for the loan will be tax revenue received annually by the school board. A one-time documentation fee of $250 will apply. No other costs or fees are associated. The interest rate will be the Wall Street Journal Prime. The signers for the loan will be Philip B. Kachasik, Board President, and Rebecca Jean Rodriguez, Director of Business Affairs, Board Secretary.
And I just wanted to have a chance. Rebecca, would you explain why we're doing this?
Yes, so we needed to do the motion again updated that reference the tax revenue, the property taxes as the collateral, and also that the signers on the account would be the president and myself as the board secretary. So it's the same amount, the same fee, it just needed the updated language to pass the Laguda requirements for the issue.
I assume too, we're doing it because in case the state doesn't pass the budget, we'll have some money to spend.
Correct, and then, but this will be something we can renew each year for no fee, so even though we seem to have a good feeling that the state will pass a budget timely this year, we all know that that might not continue to happen year after year, so this will just be done and we won't have to worry about it, and we have that set aside and done for us each year.
Hope you're right. And last year, remember, we lost $140,000 because they didn't pass it on time and interest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Question?
Question being called for, this will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Move to approve Resolution 2026-004-01 to execute the lease of equipment from Apple Financial Services for students. Originally approved by the board 3/2/2026. Quantity adjustment has been made based on updated numbers. Reduced quantity from 1,300 to 1,240 for a savings of $30,777 over 4 years. iPads, 1,240 for $636.58 over 4 years. $159,014.50 per year.
Either Tiffany or Rebecca, do you have anything you want to add on that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, so the board had approved this before, but some students withdrew, so we recounted the numbers and we were actually able to decrease the number of iPads that we were purchasing.
Yeah,
So
and
there
then,
was some savings.
yes, so there were savings, and then also we needed to approve in March to lock in the 0% interest rate. So the resolution of the actual lease with those numbers just came through, so that's why it's on this motion again. So apologize, but we're just trying to save as much money as we can
No,
and
I
still
thought-
do the product.
I thought that was a great catch personally, so thank you.
Second.
Question.
Question being called for, this will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Move to approve the proposal from Alloy Group for removal of disposal of asbestos-containing flooring located in Penn Middle School cafeteria, adjacent hallway and base of the stairwell. Total cost of the abatement will come from the Capital Projects Fund.
And-
Total abatement cost $31,685.
And Brian, can you tell us like when the project's gonna be done and what did you actually anticipate that the cost was gonna be?
About 40 grand.
About 40 grand, so it came under budget?
Yeah, we had 3 bids, 42 grand, 37, and 31.
And 31?
And this 31 is from Company and Export.
Local?
So it was local.
That's very good.
They were real happy to win the bid.
I'm very happy that reward someone local too is very, very good. And how about, I know this was, when we talked about our list of priorities, 1 through 10 earlier with our financials, this was actually a priority number 1 on the list, and that's kind of why we're doing it now. But, isn't it all be done this summer?
Yes, it'll start, the Monday or Tuesday after Labor Day, and with the
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Yes, with the anticipation that it's gonna be completed by August 1st.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have a, I'm sorry. I'm taking over.
Second.
Question being called for, this will be roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Neiman.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right, everybody, we're gonna jump to page 16 near the top, athletics and extracurricular. Dr. Costo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to employ the following athletic extracurricular personnel. New employment is contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation, which includes Act 34, 151, 114, and 126 clearance from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Nick Caparoso, cross-country coach. Christopher Dubois, assistant band director. Kayla McCurdy, lifeguard. Delaney Race, lifeguard. Isabel Huck, lifeguard. Zach Mance, junior high baseball coach. Nathan Smith, high school wrestling head coach. And Carly Rubright, high school head field hockey coach, at the salaries and start dates listed.
Second.
Question being called for, this will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That'll be all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Costo. We're gonna move to personnel and curriculum. Mr. John Otto.
Move to employ the following personnel. New employment is contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation, which includes Act 34, Act 151, Act 114, and Act 126 clearances from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Alexander Flock, super sub at McCullough. Stephanie Kravitz, super sub at Sunrise. Michelle Krieger, super sub at Harrison Park. Denise Bell, long-term sub at McCullough. Taylor Riazzi, she's a speech therapist for the district. And Peyton Holmes is a special ed student learning assistant for Harrison Park.
Second.
Question?
Question being called for, this will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Also, move to accept the following retirement resignations. Carol Palmer, a teacher at the Penn Trafford High School, effective May 26. Michael Budosh, a teacher at Trafford Elementary School, effective May 26. Thomas Monzo, a teacher at Trafford Elementary Schools, effective May 26. Michael Cleland at the high school, effective May 26. And Kelly Podkle, a teacher at Penn Middle School, effective May 26.
And before you accept it, I just wanted to thank everyone, and we will have a retirement ceremony, an invitation for them at the end of the year for our last meeting. But together, the five of them have 163 years of teaching, most of them all within this district. They will all be missed, and as always, it's always sad to see someone go, but it opens up the doors for new teachers and new opportunities. But they will all be missed. They've all been very dedicated, and I'll say a little bit more about them in June, or May, I'm sorry.
Second.
Question being called for, this will be a roll call vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We have a motion for adjournment. Motion by Mr. Otto, second by Dr. Costo. This meeting will be adjourned at 8:40